Hey everybody, Richie here from Rocket Chronicles, and today is January 22nd, 2022. That's 1-2-2022, boy, that's a lot of twos. So it was 9 degrees out this morning here at my house. Very cold outside, of course, and I thought it would be a good day to stay inside and make my very first video in this little micro workspace that I've set up in this 10 by 12 room that I have. That is normally, that side is my photo editing and video editing and all the stuff about my photography business and my photography channel is over there, but this is going to be the rocket side of the room. So today we have a Wildman Rocketry kit. It is the Shape Shifter 75 millimeter. Essentially it's a 3-inch rocket, and I don't normally do unboxing videos over on my photography channel, but I thought it would be nice to just kind of open this thing up. I've had this box now for about a week. It's come in, and we're just going to get right to it and jump right into it. And I'm just going to talk a little bit as I'm opening it up and try to be quick about this. But I haven't flown a rocket. I've been into rockets my whole life, but I haven't flown a rocket since 2014. And just because I don't have the space to work on them, basically. And plus I've been very busy with my other two businesses that I do. And I have a photography business and a catering business. So it keeps me very, very busy. Plus I drive a school bus for the local district. But this year I said, you know what, I'm getting back into rocketry, and I have to make a workspace. So that's what I did. I made this little workspace. And it's not quite finished yet. I still got to put a little hood system in up here for when I'm working with epoxy resins and things like that. So first thing I'm going to do is put on some gloves here, just because I know I'm going to be reaching into fiberglass. And we're going to open this box up, and so I bought a kit from Wildman. I've only ever bought one other kit from Wildman, and that was back in 2008. I bought a 6-inch Ultimate Wildman, and that was my L3 certification rocket. Let's get past the paper packing. And in here we have, just so you know, we got, and Tim from Wildman has sent, oh, that's a magnet. Oh, that's nice. Okay. I can stick that up on a metal surface somewhere. That's cool. And then this, of course, is our packing slip. And all I ordered in this order was just the rocket kit, because I wanted to see what all I'm going to need. So see if we can get this out in this little micro workspace without. Okay, so that's the main booster section. And it looks like there is a coupler inside of there. This is I guess red G10. Looks pretty cool. Okay, let's just go digging on down in here, see what else. That's paper. And let's do something dangerous here and tip that up. More paper. So as you can tell, it was packed pretty good. Okay, here's our fins. And we're just going to get all this stuff out of the box, and then we'll actually look at what it is. Someplace there should be a nose cone. And that's it for the box. Goodbye, box. So let's just run through these pieces real quick. That looks like a switch band. And this is a good thing I put gloves on. Boy, that guy is really stuck on there. We'll leave him on there for now. Okay, there's our centering rings. So let me just real quick. I'm going to grab a tape measure here. And look and see what we have on the booster section. Exactly 44 inches on the booster section. Okay, and there is a I can't seem to get that to come out. Oh, I'm hitting the light up there. Let's just set that aside for now. So that was the booster section, and this is going to be our upper section. We can measure this right here, and this is just a hair under 22 inches. So we'll call it 22 inches on that. This looks like the motor tube, supposed to be a 54 millimeter motor tube. And that's coming in at like 14 and a half. 14 and a half inches on that. This is a coupler. That is 5 and a half, and all of these are just a little bit under, other than that main tube. Let's do the nose cone. So the nose cone, and it has a metal tip on it. So the metal tip I guess that unthreads. Let's just, for all intent purposes, we're going to leave it on there. And the nose cone comes in at just a tad over 15. And I mean, make sure I'm lined up here. We'll call it 15. I mean, it's just a tad over. Let's see if there's a way that we can get boy, that is really on there. There it comes. So this is a switch band, and this that's coming in at like an inch, and I guess it would be a quarter, a little over an inch and a quarter. And this is why I got the gloves on. You can see right here. This is raw cut fiberglass, and so make sure you put, if you get one of these kits, make sure you put gloves on as soon as you take it out of the box, or before you take it out of the box. Okay, so let me just get rid of this debris and put that back there somewhere. Now, we got some centering rings and some fins and bulkheads. So that is just a plain bulkhead right there, and let's, okay, calipers are at 0. So we're right at 0.1. It's like 0.99 on that. This one's thicker. This is 0.175. And that has a step down on it so that you can, and that fits very nicely in there. You're very, very minimal movement on that. That's perfect. That's what I would call perfect cut. And this guy is the same, and they've kind of pre-marked where you want to drill. I don't know exactly how I'm going to build my avionics bay yet, but that fits very nice. And if we take a piece of airframe, now, of course, none of this stuff has been sanded yet, but yeah, it doesn't fit in too good, but I mean, it fits in, but it needs to be sanded. This fits in perfectly. By the time you put your, see, you want to have a little bit of room, because you're going to sand it a little bit both sides, and if you're going to glue it or epoxy it, you're going to want to sand. You want to have some room for your epoxy, if that's what you're going to do. Like say with this, you want to have a little bit of room to make your epoxy on there. Now, I don't know. I think this one is going to be for this. So you're going to have a bulkhead here. I'm just eyeing it up. I'm just guessing that's going to be your bulkhead for that. These are going to be your fore and aft for your altimeter bay, and this are your rings for your motor tube. Let's just take a look and see how they fit on. Again, they're nice and snug, and you can always sand them out a little bit. For these, it's good to have them snug right off the get-go. Nice. Okay, let's just, last but not least, our fins. I'm really liking the way everything was packaged like this. It keeps all these small parts together, and not having them, you know, bounce around and fly around inside the box. We got one, see if the camera can get that. I'm getting 0.130 on that. Okay, so they look really nice. Let's nice. Very, 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 very straight cut there. Very straight cut there. Okay, so fin length. Just a hair over 14. I mean, we can call it 14 and a quarter, I guess, on that. Looking at the bevel on these, they look really, really, really nice. Again, I bought the Ultimate Wildman, which was a 6-inch rocket. I built it out to be 12 foot. I think I extended a little bit. I may even do that with this one. But it was my level 3 rocket, and I was very, very impressed. I bought it back in 2008, and I believe that was around when Wildman Rocketry first started selling the Ultimate Wildman kit. And I really, really liked it. It was an easy build, but I was building it for L3, so I did a lot of extra stuff to it to beef it up. And unfortunately, the rocket suffered a KDO. It had a lot of good flights, but then it suffered a KDO at LDRS one time. But I'm just looking at these. Everything looks good. Very, very impressed with this kit. So there it is. I'd like to get this coupler out of here. I don't know why I didn't think of that to start with. Okay, so here is the other final coupler. We did get it out. And this one is 7 1/4. So just for comparison, this short coupler I believe is going to be for the nose cone. And this is going to be the altimeter bay, which makes sense because that's going to give you... Now there are no instruction sheets, as you can see, included with it, but Tim does have the instructions on his website. There are also RockSim files on the website, but I couldn't get a RockSim for this one. Actually, when I would download the RockSim for this one, it was actually said for this, but it was actually a different rocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh all of these parts. And I'm going to do that actually right now on camera. I'm going to weigh all of these parts, and then off of camera, I'm actually going to get total dimensions on everything, and I will enter it into my RockSim so that I can create a detailed RockSim file for this rocket. So let's see, someplace here we have a scale, and let's see if we can get it here. Okay, we could go with grams. Why don't we just go with grams? Because then we got ounces and pounds. Let's stick with grams, because I know when I put it into RockSim, I will probably put it in as grams. Okay, so switch band, 25 grams. Altimeter bay, 135 grams. Nose cone coupler, 102 grams. $224 grams. $145 grams. Upper airframe. And I'm going to tear that. $435. Boosters. Whoa, I'm hitting lights here. Booster section. $868 grams. Make sure there's nothing else in there. Let's go with the bulkhead. $20 grams. These are altimeter bay caps. 38 grams. $38. It's good that they weigh the same, right? $10. 10 grams. And our fins, let's do a tear. $138. Okay, so let's get this dust off of here. Let's tear this out and weigh them again. 137. No, that one's coming in at 138. Let's tear that. $139. $138. You know, it could be like 138 and a half. $137. So one is definitely a little bit lighter, probably where they, you know, beveled it a little bit, maybe something like that. All the fins seem to be they're all the same length. They're all exactly the same length. Yeah, I can see a little bit of a difference on the bevel here. That's not a big deal. That's, you know, that's nothing. Okay, so there it is. Wildman Rocketry Shape Shifter, 75 millimeter shape shifter, whatever he calls it. Essentially, it's a 3-inch rocket, and got to be careful I don't get fiberglass in my mouth. So this is the rocket that's going to start me off for the beginning of the season. I'm setting a goal to build 3 rockets this year. Probably only get 2 built, but I would like to do this one. This will start me off, and then I want to do maybe a 4-inch. Plus I have some rockets in storage, but I got this little workspace here, and I'm just looking forward to getting back in. It's been a long time. 2007, 14 was the last time that I launched, and I'm kind of really looking forward to getting back up to Metra field and possibly down to MDRA. And I think I'll go down to MDRA for red glare in the spring, just to attend as a spectator and kind of check it all out. But it's a slow process getting back into it after being out of it for a while. You can check out my other video that I posted. It's a little bit long, but again, this is Rocket Chronicles. And what this channel is about is just chronicalizing my rocketry. So some of the videos could be short, but some of the videos could be longer ones, because it is, it is a chronicle that's just going in a timeline of showing me getting back into rocketry, and also talking about some of my past rocketry and stuff like that. So expect to see videos. I'm going to be hopefully making some homemade parachutes. That's something that I've done in the past. I've made several homemade chutes, but I made one that survived a 4-inch rocket coming in hot, and then the main deployed, and the chute actually survived with the nose cone. The rocket did not, and you can see that right here. But the chute actually survived on that, and that was a testament to how good I can make my chutes. I also have a chute that I custom made for the Talon 4. So I thought I'd probably make a custom chute for this, and I'll do a video. Of course, you're going to have to know how to use a sewing machine, and a lot of people don't. It's something that I learned a long, long time ago. Rocketry for me is something that encompasses many, many things aside from just putting the rocket together. That was why back in the 2000s, when I had my little composite shop, I loved doing composites. That was another aspect of it. You had building the rocket. You could build a scratch rocket if you wanted to, make parachutes. In fact, I had a 3-inch rocket that's name was Scratch, and it was built totally from scratch. It was kind of based after a Tomahawk, in a sense, like kind of like the LOC or Lock Sandhawk, but that was a scratch built rocket, and I used it for all my EX motors. So EX, making experimental motors, that was another thing that I did. And there's just many, many aspects to it. So even using a sewing machine for sewing. So, okay, this video is long enough. It's going to take me a while to edit it, but come back and check out the channel some more. Hit like, hit subscribe, and fly rockets.